Hello and welcome to this week's episode of My CP Does Not Define Me, where we focus less on this and more on the ability of what we can do. Join us each and every Wednesday at 7 p.m. Eastern Time, live on the Disability Global Broadcast, Facebook Live, and LetGoRadio.net. Looking forward to seeing you there. What's up, everybody? It's D to the J with a roll away, and we are here on Wednesday, believe it or not, at 7:01. 7:01 is when I clocked in. 6:59, you're late, so technically I was only a minute late for the show, which is a lot better for me today. I want to go over a couple of updates. I've had a lot of questions about the book. When's the book coming out? What's the book about? I didn't know you wrote a book. People have been hitting me up all day. When's the next CD coming out? Listen, all right, so I want to go over this, and I need you guys to understand. There's a multi-step process in producing the music CD. Part of the problem is we have to get it copyrighted, which is what we just did yesterday. We just sent off the digital music and words actually to get that file actually to get copied onto the CD. This CD is going to have 10 songs on it, not 11. We had to make a cut of one of the songs at the last minute. I didn't want to do it, but we had to do it. So I had to choose. I went ahead and did that. So we just did the copyright yesterday. That can take up to a month to come in. So hopefully by December, it's going to be there. Hey, Thomas, how are you? As far as the book is concerned, Breaking Through Barriers with Cerebral Palsy, I talked to Isabella today, and she is halfway through the editing process. So we're about halfway through. It looks like that's going to be January or February when that's going to launch. I know everybody wants to pre-order a copy. And as soon as I can get you the information on how to do that, I'm going to do that. I promise you. Thank you guys for emailing me, for asking questions. I got people coming up to me in the street. When's the book coming out? I don't know yet. I'll let you know. So it's kind of fun to be in that situation. All right. So today's show, how to live in the right now. How to be in the right now. This world is full of distractions. Distractions happen all the time. Whether you're at work, whether you're at play, distractions happen each and every day. The hardest thing for a lot of people to do is stay in the right now. Because I'll tell you what happened. I was at the store and I was looking for gloves. Okay, this whole day has been a lookout for gloves. My gloves. My buddy Arius, my fiance was with me. We went out. We went to Ollie's and we were looking for gloves. I bought a cat tower for the cat, and I bought what else did I get at Ollie's? 2 cases of drinks and some tea, and ended up costing me like $48. I said, okay, $48 isn't bad. Did not find any gloves there. Went to the hardware section. They didn't have what we wanted. So then we go home and I say, all right, didn't find what we wanted. And Kim said, you know what? We forgot the milk. We should have gotten the milk while we were So I used the restroom. We went back out, put my stuff on. It's cold as bejesus out there right now. I'm not going to lie to you. I had my hat on, my coat on, no gloves, And as I'm going through all of this, I say, well, let's go to Fashion Metro. And Fashion Metro may have gloves over here. And they had gloves for women, and they would not fit my big hands. I have 9.5-inch hands. So here's the thing. Kim and I are sitting there, and I go back, and I go, oh, those pants are really nice. Oh, they're $27, and they have my size. And I look up, and I see this beautiful jacket. Oh, this jacket. I've never seen a jacket like this in my life. And I know they didn't have my size, but it had a 2X, and I tried it on. And the jacket's $64. And I'm contemplating on what I'm going to do. Am I going to put the jacket back and get the pants? Am I going to put the pants back and get the jacket? Am I going to get neither? And all through my mind, I got to pay bills. 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 That's running through my mind. So I took both and I put them back. And Kim asked me why. Now, here's the thing. In life, you have to make decisions you don't want to make. Okay? That $64 is almost 2/3 my light bill. Okay? So do I want to pay for the electricity? Or do I want to look really nice in a jacket and go, man, you screwed the electricity bill this month? You have to make those decisions in the now. And I was sad because the jacket felt right. It was calling me and said, buy me. You know you want me. Even my CP brain is going, don't buy the jacket. You have to pay bills, moron. So I'm listening to myself, but I'm fighting with myself because I wanted the jacket. And Kim was so nice. She goes, you need to treat yourself once in a while. You never treat yourself. You never buy anything for yourself. And I'm like, well, we got to eat and we got to pay bills. You know, people promise us money and people promise to help us out. They don't do it. You know, things happen. And in that moment, you got to decide, where am I now? Okay. And the now is the hardest part of life to understand, because you think about Christmas and you think about Thanksgiving and you think about people coming over and you think about the doctor's appointment on Wednesday, which we'll get to. Had a little bit of a scare in the doctor's office, dear God. Whew. I tell you, I'm not one to go, all right, God, let me put my heart back in my chest for a second. I go, you know, and living in the now, man, when I'm at the doctor, all I hear is, oh God, medical. And it just, doctors freak me out, man. I can't, I can handle it. I know what they're talking about. I'm often as smart as they are. I just don't have the coat. And I know you're going to say, no, you're not. You don't have a medical degree. No, I don't have a medical degree. I don't. But I have 4 family members that are in the medical field, from an NP to an RN to a LPN to a CNA. So look at, hey Jeff, how you doing? You look at life as a whole, okay? And when you're in the doctor's office and they say, well, your blood pressure's a little high. Well, I have white coat syndrome.
Funny, Tony. I like that.
I have white coat syndrome. Now, for those of you who don't know what white coat syndrome is, when someone else other than the doctor takes your blood pressure, when you first get there, your blood pressure goes, oh my God, and goes through the roof. Okay? And I told the doctor, I said, Dr. House, remember, I have white coat syndrome. I'm okay. So, yeah, my blood pressure was a little high. Okay? Just a wee bit. All right? I get on the scale and I tell them that my chair weighs 415 pounds without me in it. Not realizing that was the wrong weight. My chair actually weighs 428 pounds without me in it. And the problem is, when you get the wrong information, it showed that I gained 30 pounds. I'm like, there's no way. I said something. And Dr. House said, don't worry. It's fine. I know you haven't gained 30 pounds. You don't look like you've gained 30 pounds, and you're still wearing the same size pants.
Our cat is here to say hello.
Yeah, I know. She just wants to be part of the show. It's fine. Go ahead, cookie lady. It's so funny to me, and the doctor's examining me, and she goes, "Well, your heart rate's a little fast." I go, "What? Don't tell me that." She goes, I think we should do an EKG. And I'm like, why? Why? What? What's wrong? She goes, well, it could be AFib, but I don't want to alarm you. I'm like, oh, Dad, don't do that. What? That's my brain, thinking out, going, my brain is literally going in the background of my life. I hear my brain going, write out your last will and testament. That's it, big boy. You're done. You're going up the river, out the road. That's you're just done. And I literally, I'll explain the megaphone in a minute. I literally look at my life and I go, oh God, it's over. And I'm sitting there, and Kim is looking at me, going, babe, everything's gonna be okay. Everything's gonna be okay. Stop worrying. And I literally zone out into this looking at everything that is possibly going to go wrong. And the lady comes in and she goes, can you take off your shirt? And I'm like, yeah. So I take it off. And Kim goes, look how sexy you are. The pads won't even stick to you. They're anti-sticky. And I'm like, I'm trying to laugh, but I'm thinking, oh God, don't laugh. And she's like, all right, just be calm and relax and breathe normal. I'm like, how do I breathe normal? I forgot. Like, I'm freaking out at the moment, And so the EKG goes through, and it literally takes 1 minute, 60 seconds for it to happen. But during that 60 seconds, I'm going, your life is over. And it's not.
Oh. Sorry, everybody.
That is the cat. That's not my fault. I'm telling you, I will kill the cat later. And magically, the shield goes back up. Let's back it up a little bit, actually, so it can, yep. There we go. Okay, we're good. Everything's fine. Nobody saw anything. If that happens again. All right. So the EKG is over.
This is what happens when you have a 6-month-old kitten.
No, the EKG is over, and the doctor comes in and she goes, Mr. Carter. And I swear, there's a 45-second pause between Mr. Carter and your EKG came out fine. But what I heard was, well, spine. I'm like, what? She said, your EKG came out fine. Your heart rhythm's great. This is great. This is great. This is great. This is great. I'm like, well, why did you want the EKG in the first place? And she goes, I had to be safe. I had to make sure that in the moment, and she said that, and I went, in the moment, I had to make sure that you were okay. And I'm going, well, that was nice. And after I calmed down, and after I realized that it had to be done, because that doctor's the only doctor that can tell me something, and I'll go, okay, do it. Because most of the time I'm like, no, I don't need it. I'm fine. Patients think they know everything, and doctors think they know everything. So you get this clash of people. I'm glad you like that, Siobhan. I'm glad I could entertain you for a few seconds of your life and make you laugh, which is probably still what you're doing, as this will probably fall over again thanks to our cat. Anyway, who's 6 months old. Anyway, Cookie, stay away from there. Anyway, I don't talk back to me. I know that the in the moment is hard to do, but okay. So going back to where we were looking for gloves, and I'm in Ollie's, and we bought all these things, and then we go to the dollar store, then we go to the dollar store, and I look and I get the flea stuff for the cat, and I get the toy for the cat, and then I find the gloves, and I'm like, all right, these will work. And I go to put the gloves on. And let me tell you, I have huge fingers, and the gloves are like, that's the sound they made as they slid over. And it's funny because you don't think about how small something is until you buy it, and you can't try them on because they're stuck together with that stupid alarm thingy. But I said, you know what? They'll work. It's fine. It took me 5 minutes to get each glove on because of my CP and my large fingers and my nails. Kim's laughing the entire time, going, baby, I don't mean to laugh, but it's so freaking funny. And it is. It is. It looks like my hands are giving birth to new fingers. It's hysterical. Siobhan says, hey, I had an annual physical yesterday. Clean bill of health. Praise God. But I know how you feel. So all of this happens. And I find the gloves, right? And I buy the gloves. And I'm like, okay, everything is good now. Okay? And I'm outside driving my chair. And as my hands are in the gloves, I can't feel anything. So we go to Food Lion to get stuff for tacos because I got to make stuff for tacos tonight because that's what I said I was going to do. And damn it, that's what I'm going to do. So we buy the stuff for tacos and I have the gloves on in the store the entire time. And I go to pick something up and I'm like, ooh, furry. Because I can't feel what I'm grabbing and I didn't drop anything. Okay. Because that would have been a scene. I could have seen it now.
CP moment.
The manager's sitting there. The manager's sitting there going, oh yeah. Clean up on aisle 2, idiot. Clean up on aisle 2. Glove wearer, drop the pickles. Glove wearer, drop the pickles. In which I would have ran him over. And that would have been, the end of it. Sorry. And it's like,
You're having fun with this today.
You sit there, and that's what my brain does. It goes through these things as I live. So we get all the stuff for tacos, right? And I'm like, $72. $72. Good God. And then I remembered I had a discount card in my wallet. And I pull out the discount card, and it goes from 72 to 27. I'm like, hell yeah, I got a discount. And I'm happy, and I'm in the moment, And then I realized how much crap we got because there's 3 bags on my chair, 3 bags on Kim's chair. And we're on the way back from Food Lion, or I think this happened before we went to Food Lion, but I'm going to say after. This lady screams across the parking lot.
That was before we went to Food
Lion. Okay,
Lion.
we'll say after just to make the story more interesting. The lady screams across the parking lot, hi, do y'all take care of each other? I'm like, yeah. And she goes, do you know you can get paid for it? I'm like, we don't have Medicaid. She goes, no. I'm saying you can get paid for taking care of her. She can get paid for taking care of you. And Kim goes, can you come to us, please, instead of screaming across the parking lot? And her little feet just, oh, that car. And there she goes, and she's here, and she goes, hi. And I go, hi, how are you? We don't have Medicaid. We just have Medicare. They say I make too much money for Medicaid. This won't work. And she goes, oh, you're right. Medicaid's the main provider. In the now, the know of what you know, things are the way they are. But, see, the benefit is Kim doesn't have anything coming in right now, even though we've gotten a letter saying that something's going to come in and they're going to back pay her. We still should be able to get Medicaid for her at the moment. And this is what we're talking about. You've got to realize what your moment is. Now, how does that relate to the show? Why did I tell you all of this? Because people let a moment go by not realizing how powerful a moment is. Now, if you don't mind, I want to go back a day. And I want to share this because it's powerful. Kim lost her engagement ring 3 weeks ago. We've been looking for it. We've torn the house upside down, went through drawers, tried to find the thing. She's upset. I'm upset. And, you know, I, I, I didn't accuse anyone of stealing, but I went to the conclusion of, well, the only new person in the house is our roommate, and she had to do it. And in the moment, I said, I don't want to believe that she stole it. She couldn't have. But then I thought, I said, well, what do I do now? She's the only one. It's got to be money's disappeared. Da 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 da. It's got to be her. And the thing about it was, when I confronted her about it and I spoke to her about it, she was hurt, and I understand why she was hurt. And what she said was, "You guys are helping me out. I see where you are coming from, but how crazy would it be for me to steal from you? And you guys are helping me out. I love both of y'all for what you're doing. I would never steal from you." And in that moment, I felt a boulder come across my head and said, I have to find that ring. As much as that ring cost, I could feed a small country. I need to find that ring. And I started to get very upset because I realized that her ring is gone. And I turned away to cry. And the first person, aside from Kim, to say, it's going to be okay, we'll find it, is the person that I thought stole it. Now, don't think that I'm telling you that I accused her of stealing it, because that's not what I'm saying. I drew the conclusion that because Marshall and Kim are not going to steal from me, and I've known Marshall for 28 years, it just wouldn't happen. But we have a cat, you see. And I said, well, the old ring was there, but the new ring wasn't. And Candy said this, and I want you to listen to what I'm saying. If I really wanted to steal from y'all, I would have took both of those rings and left. I would have got my stuff. I would have left. I would have went and pawned them, and you would have never saw me again. The first time Kim lost her ring, Candy's little daughter had taken it back to her bedroom, and she found it in her blankets. But this time, we think the cat has knocked it up under something, and we've looked trying to find it. We're still trying to find it. But talking about in the moment, you have to realize what you say, what you feel, what you think, and what you do is going to have consequences. And you have to be careful how you present it, because we believe our roommate is sweet as she can be. She batshit crazy, but she's sweet as she can be. Okay, but we are all a little bit crazy, if you understand what I'm saying.
Not me. I'm far from it.
Um. Anyway, we're just going. All of us have that moment where we just go, because it happens. You have those moments of, I guess, irregularity, and we're not talking about constipation. We're talking about where it's just like you have to let loose, scream, yell, spin around, sing a song that you've sang for 45 minutes to get in someone else's head. It happens. But in the moment, how many of us honestly live in the moment before we go to the next one? And it's funny to me, because by the time we realize how precious the moment is, it's already gone. So how can we live in the moment if it's such a moment and so impressionable that it's already gone? Because unfortunately, you can't go back. No matter how bad you want to, you can't go back. So again, Kim and I were talking, and it's, you know, she sees me upset and she comes and comforts me, as she always does. and I've said this before, I wear my heart on my sleeve because that's the person that I am. You see what you see. The emotions are the emotions, and they are my heart is my guide through life. And I think that's why, to me, the moments are so precious. But I want to go back to talking to you about the doctor's office because there was something that Kim said to me that scared me, but also made me realize how much she cares. She said, there was a moment where I was completely silent when the doctor was talking because I heard her say EKG, and I immediately thought, God, please don't let there be anything wrong with him. There can't be anything wrong with him. And you go to that moment. Those are the moments that you don't want to stay in because fear is driving that moment. Now, fear can do a good thing. Fear can keep you on your toes to a point, okay? Especially in martial arts. First time you spar, first time you do a kata, first time you're in a tournament, you're going to get nervous. You're going to have a fearful disposition. But you can't let fear control you. Because when fear controls you because you think something is going to be bad, you don't know how good it feels after it's over, and they say it's perfectly fine. See, people get confused about doctors because they think they run unnecessary tests. Some do. Some do. But when you have a doctor that you can communicate with, and you have a fiance that says, I'm going with you no matter what, I'll be there the entire time, don't worry. Let me explain something about that. My ex wife very rarely went with me to the doctor. Now I'm going to share something here that that absolutely rocked my existence. I absolutely hated going to the doctor on my own. I did it. I did it. But having somebody just to hold your hand and say it's going to be all right. It's going to be all right. Don't worry. And I wasn't worried about anything until that came up. I knew I had white coat syndrome. I knew where I was. I knew what I was doing. I knew what the doctor was going to ask me because I had one of the best doctors on the planet. If I need something, okay. And it's not she doesn't question me because she knows I'm a smart individual. And I know that she is smarter than me and she has a degree in which she's going to be. That's what she went to medical school for. She's going to know some of the things that I'm not going to know. Now, here's what's interesting. And this is what I love about my doctor. She is not a neurologist. CP is based on neurology and the action of the brain and what happens in the brain and the lack of oxygen to the brain. So a neurologist is going to understand quite a bit more about CP itself. But she said this, and listen to me, guys, I want to explain this. What I'm going to do is I'm going to consult a neurologist first. Before I send you to them, I want to talk to them and see what information they give me about the questions you ask. Then I can refer back to you and see if we need to do a video consultation with this neurologist. And if you feel comfortable, then I will send you to him or them. Now, when a doctor does that, you realize you are her patient because she is taking care of you and her life is in your hands. When a doctor puts their life in your hands and they are very good at it, you understand This is what's going to happen. I'm doing this because, okay? Now, see, every case of cerebral palsy is different. Every spasm is different. Everybody that has them can explain them, but they may explain them in a different way. That is why you can put four of the same cases up in front of a panel, and all four cases can be different. Now, I will tell you, baclofen is the most prescribed medicine for CP in the entire world. Some people like baclofen, some people don't. And when you have taken, I've taken baclofen since I was 10 years old. But uh, my doctor when I was 10 was Dr. Shelton, and she was a King's daughter specialist in cerebral palsy. My doctor specialized until I was 18 years old in cerebral palsy. When you get a doctor that specializes in what you have, there are certain questions you don't have to ask because she knows. She is able to reassure you. Now, Dr. Howes does not specialize in cerebral palsy, but she knows a neurologist that does. And you have to let yourself understand there's going to be moments when you spasm.
Like that.
See, Kim doesn't know when hers are coming. I do. I can feel them.
Hi, Cindy.
And mom jumps up, right at the perfect time, talking about cerebral palsy and knowing, neurologist and having the right doctor and yada yada yada. But if you are not comfortable in the moment that you're in, how do you get out of it? Yes, Thomas, some doctors don't take time to listen to you, and
That is true.
see that's kind of what we're talking about. I did a show with Miss Winnie a while back. If you don't agree with what a doctor tells you, listen, get a second opinion. There's nothing wrong with getting a second, a third, a fourth. Now, if you have all four doctors say the same thing, you're pretty much stuck. I mean, you gotta. And here's the thing: CP is bad enough just with spasms, but there's so much more. I was so sore yesterday because I transferred 6 times. I transferred from the bed to the chair, from the chair to the bathroom, from the bathroom to the chair, from the chair to the shower, from the shower to the chair, to the toilet, to the other chair, back to the bed. I'm sorry, to the bathroom again, back to the chair, from the chair to the bed. And I was so sore that Kim literally sat there for an hour and rubbed the back of my legs because I was just hurting. I couldn't say anything, but oh my God, that's all I could do because the pain was so intense. So I took my painkiller and I took my medicine for nighttime and I took a sleep 3 and I passed out. And I totally forgot today was the first. My buddy Jeff shows up to work on my chair and I'm like, who are you and where the hell am I? I mean, it was just one of those moments where it's just, whoa, whoa, it's 10 o'clock. Jeff is here. That's what Kim told me. And I'm going, oh, okay, send him back. I swear to you, as God is my witness, Jeff Shin,
Witness.
Witness Jeff Shin is probably the greatest chair technician and ATP technician I've ever met in my life. This dude knows things about chairs, but he's been doing it for years. And I love this. In the moment, he said to me, he said, DJ, most of what I do, most of what I do, most of what I learned is done by trial and error. You know, I I listened to Jeff, and I'll give you an example of what I'm talking about. Jeff came by and he worked on my chair and he fixed this and he fixed that and he tinkers with this and tinkers with that, tightens this, tightens that. And I totally forgot the main question that I was going to ask him while he was here. My display cuts off 30 minutes after it's on. Hey, Kristen, how are you?
Hey, Kristen.
And amazingly, I text Jeff and I said, Jeff, I forgot to ask you about how do you stop the chair from going into sleep mode after 30 minutes? I said, can you come by and take a look at it next week whenever you have time? 10 minutes later, I get a video tutorial from Jeff, step by step, how to do it. Do this. If you can't do it by yourself, I'll come by and do it. I was able to do it myself. In the moment, you have to live in the moment. Understand the moment. Don't let the moment overwhelm you unless it's a really good moment and you want to be overwhelmed. I look at my life and there are so many moments that I've had that I was overwhelmed from dentists, from doctors, from specialists, from psychiatrists, from psychologists. Psychiatrists prescribe medicine, psychologists are who you talk to about problems and learning how to solve problems. A lot of people are focused on psychiatrists or psychologists being these people that just tell you crap and don't help you. Some are petrified to sit down and talk to them because they think that all that psychiatrist is going to do is tell their problems. Let me explain something. There is something that you sign before you go to any psychiatrist where you're going to share information, and it is called patient confidentiality. Now, in this form, it says they cannot share any of your information unless one of three things happen. You are attempting to harm others, you're attempting to harm yourself, or you're doing both. Now, talking about wanting to, that's different. Talking about how you feel, that's different. She's not my psychologist, but I will tell you this. I don't know if any of you know Maritza. She's one of the people that I've been friends with. I've had her on the show, I believe, 2 or 3 times. We were talking about something. I asked her a question, and she was able to reform the question to where I was just able to smile. And I'm not going into what we talked about, but she knew that the two of us would end up together. And what I love about Kim is immediately when I told her, Kim said, do you still talk to her? I said, I haven't talked to her in a long time because I haven't needed to. But I want to explain something here too, guys. You don't have to need to talk to somebody to talk to them. When they, I talk about Miss Winnie all the time. When you know a person and you know the effect they have on you, I can be stressed to the wall and I hear Miss Winnie's voice and immediately come back down. Maritza's the same way. When I
Me
get up,
too.
when I get uptight, when Kim gets uptight and I'm able to talk to her, baby, it's going to be okay. Let's talk about it. Let's figure it out. There's a calming effect that certain people have that you hear, and it's and Miss Winnie has had that effect. Corey Wilson has that effect on me. That's one of the greatest things about Corey Wilson that a lot of people don't know. He's not loud. Corey is not loud. Corey's very straight, there, to the point, boom, 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 boom. But he's calming. Now, Miss Wilson can get loud and excited and above the noise spectrum, but she has these moments where sleep on it. You're focusing too hard on this. Back up a little bit. And I wanna focus these next 20 minutes on something that I don't talk about a lot. Um, I take Ms. Winnie's suggestions straight to heart because I have for most of the time that I've known her. And amazing to me, what is amazing to me is once you realize where she's coming from and you realize why, you go, damn, that was a good idea.
Mm-hmm.
But she's the type of person, Miss Winnie will go and go and go and go and go and push and push and push and push. And until recently, forget about herself to where she will go, wait a minute, I got to step back. Everybody in the entire world has a breaking point. And I've talked about it. We did a show on the breaking point before. But you have to realize your breaking point can be brought on by several things coming at you at one time. So I'm gonna go over 5 things in the next 19 minutes. So just kind of listen to me here. Be aware of what's on your plate. Be aware of what's on your plate. And if you don't know, sit down and write out everything that you have to do. Not that someone makes you. Listen to me. Write out what you have to do. Pay bills, go to the doctor, go to the dentist, go to the bank, manage your time. Okay? That's the second. Manage your time. Get an organizer with Monday through Friday on it, or Monday through Sunday on it, and notes on the bottom, something like this right back here, that has the calendar and sets it up so you can see what day is what, and you can go through and write it down with an erasable marker that you can erase when you're done. Schedule out your time. Okay, manage your time. Okay, this one is a biggie. Number 3, don't rely on technology. Technology can die and break just like that. Always carry a mini planner in your purse, pocketbook, briefcase, pocket. Carry your backup to what you have written on that big board at home, not just in your phone. Okay? Don't depend on technology, okay? But use it. Also put it in your phone. Put it in your calendar. Set reminders. Set alarms to help yourself remember things. Now, I want to go back to my doctor one more time, and I'm going to talk about this because it needs to be talked about, guys. I am 41 years old, and for the first time in my life, the doctor gave me a test I weren't ready for. I passed it with flying colors, but it was a memory test, one that I had never done. I thought it was going to be one of these 3-word things. She asked me questions, told a story, da 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 da, went through all this stuff, colors, numbers, backwards, forwards. If you suspect something is wrong, if you feel that your mind is slipping and you're not remembering how you used to, you don't feel as sharp as you used to, you feel kind of hazy, you're not remembering where you put things. If you walk in the kitchen and you go, what the heck am I in here for? And that happens to you a lot, go get your memory tested for Alzheimer's and dementia. This mess affects people and it hits them like a ton of bricks. And if you're not on medicines for it, there are so many advances that the medical technology has made with Alzheimer's and dementia. Guys, go to these doctors and go to these specialists because they know what they're talking about. The nurse said your memory is great. You know, you're 100% there. Only one I missed was I thought it was Monday and it was Tuesday. That was the only day of the week I missed on the whole test. But the thing about it is your memory and your mind. You've only got one. Okay, if you fall and you hit your head, you have CP, get it checked. Don't say, "Oh, it's fine. I don't have a concussion," because I'm gonna tell you what's gonna happen. If you go to sleep on a concussion, a bad one, you can have a stroke and lose all of your body function, all of it. You can lose one side. You can lose bladder control. If you fall a lot, consider getting a medical alert bracelet. Listen, I'm 230 pounds. If I fall, I don't know if I have the strength in my arms and legs to bend and get back up again. I don't fall often because I'm very careful and I have a system in place with Kim where she steadies me if I start to get weak. Have a system in place, have pull chains put in place in your apartment, give somebody that you know and you trust a key to be able to get in your apartment if something happens that you know can help you. Consider having a panic button on your medical alert. Get a medical alert ID bracelet if you go to the hospital and you pass out and you have your allergies and what you're allergic to and what your disability is written on it. People take their health for granted. I ain't going to no doctor. It's just this. One of my very close friends found out he has 4 months to live, liver cancer, cancer in his bloodstream. Dude is fighting for his life. And it hit him like that. Had no idea.
He's 48.
48 years old. I'm 41. You have to take a look at your life. They have annual visits for a reason. Okay? Gen Care sees me normally every 6 weeks. Why? Because they want to catch something early before it gets major. And if something would have happened to my heart today, Dr. Howes would have caught it. If I would have pushed off that EKG, even though everything came out fine, I would have never known. I would have never known. A lot of people who have CP are tight, overweight, don't participate in activities to help them move. You have to be able to move. The more weight you gain, the more stress you put on your muscles, the more stress you put on your bones, the harder it is to move. I wore a size 18 boys until I was 26 years old because I was active. Then I started eating and keeping up with other people, and I wasn't watching what I ate. I didn't care about what I drank. By the time I was 30, I was in a size 38, and now I'm in a size 48. I can wear a 44. I'm working on getting back to a 42, but I'm letting you know this is not a joke. Diabetes is not a joke. Pre-diabetes is not a joke. There are tests that you can take. And people, it is Alzheimer's and dementia is now known as type 3 diabetes.
Really? Not know that.
Again, medical research has come so far as to isolate where Alzheimer's comes from and why it affects the brain the way it does. Read about it, research on it. You know, there are natural remedies that you can take. I'm not talking about prescription medication. I'm talking about natural remedies and vitamins that you can take to better yourself.
Like seed oil.
Flaxseed oil,
Black.
uh, uh, flaxseed and black seed oil, iron, vitamin D3, not just vitamin D. Um, there are, uh, I know for 50 and older, Centrum is really good. A lot of women that want to get pregnant and want to have kids start taking prenatal vitamins before you get pregnant to prepare yourself. Let me clarify something. Just because you have CP does not mean you cannot have children. And it does not mean your children will be diagnosed with CP. Let me say this again. I got 8 minutes left in this damn show. Let me cover this real quick. I don't care what a doctor tells you. A doctor cannot guarantee your child is going to have lack of oxygen to the brain and have CP because you have it. There are complications that may cause it, but there is no guarantee that anyone with CP can pass it on to their children automatically. It doesn't work like that. Spina bifida is the same way. Spina bifida can be detected in the womb now. Medical science has come to the point where they can close the hole in the womb and almost correct the problem.
Mm-hmm.
But you yourself do not be naive and say, oh, my doctor told me I can't have children because I got CP. That's bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
I'm telling you now, get a second opinion. Find a neurologist, research CP and what it is. I wish I knew the guy's name. There was a person born with no arms, barely any legs, one little foot that he hops around on, and he's a public speaker. He's from
I know who you told me.
he's from England or Britain, and I did a show on him a while back. This guy is incredible. He has a beautiful wife, and they have two kids now. I'm not sure, but I mean, the guy's driving, going all over the world, inspiring people, making changes in people's lives. Where are my comments at right now? I got people watching, and people have just stopped commenting. Why? Why? I want my viewers to talk to me. I don't want you to lock up and sit there and not say anything. Um, and Kim is actually looking him up.
Trying to find him.
The young man is. I I saw him go down steps.
He's a religious. Talks about God a lot too.
He is just amazing. Oh, what is it? Mark. I think his name is Mark. Not Mark. Oh, I wish I could. But anyway, I will find him and I will put him. No, he's not a preacher.
He talks about God a lot.
He does have a story, with God quite a bit. But I cannot think of his name off the top of my head now, and time's ticking by, and I want to mention him. Um, he's a speaker. Um, Speaker with no arms and one, I think, 1 foot. He had to be taken care of most of his life until he met his wife, and he had a permanent
There
care.
he is.
Yep, yep, that's him right there.
I know but it's Nick VUJICIC.
Click on it. Click on that, Nick. Um, yep, life without limits. Yep, and it's right.
I don't know if you guys could see it.
Hold on, it's glare. I will type his name in the comments. Hang on, his name is. You're not going to stop me from talking at all. Can I type here? I can't.
Cindy, since you're
type this in the comments, Mom. Nick is his first name, Nick. His last name is VUJICIC. Nick VUJICIC. Life Without Limits. This guy, I'm telling you, he's been all over the world, and he has done so many. I'm glad you found him. Thank you.
Can I screenshot it?
I tell you what. Yeah. Just screenshot it and put it in the group chat and have. I can't type that.
Can I directly put?
I will go. I will go in and put it once the. Yep, that's fine. That's fine. But I will go in and put it later, or somebody else can put it in there. I'll spell the last name. It's VUJICIC. VUJICIC, and the first name is Nick. And it's Life Without Limits. So I will go and I will reply to that. I will put that in the comments for you as soon as the show is over to know about what that is. But Kim could also go to my Facebook and put it. in there, but you have to unmute it or mute it so that I can't be heard. She's actually gonna put it in there. I can spell it VU. I can spell it, babe. Go ahead. It's VU
VU
JICIC.
JICIC.
Yep.
D-O.
And it's yep. That's the name of the guy that does the Life Without Limits right there. You can go search. Now you want to talk about somebody that has an inspiring story. I listened to two of these things and I'm on the floor just bawling. I mean, because you think about it. We all say that, I don't know if I can do that. That's too hard. I'd never be able to do that. You look at this guy and you stop saying that. Seriously. If he can do it, we can do it. Guys, I want to thank all of you for staying with me on the show today. I hope that I reach somebody somewhere that you're able to live in the moment a little more, to be in the moment a little more, and most of all, take care of yourself and take care of each other. You can catch us again every Wednesday at 7 p.m. on Facebook. I also put the shows on YouTube. I'm a little behind right now because I had to downgrade StreamYard back to the basic because I got to pay bills, guys. They keep coming, whether you're alive or dead. So stay with me. Come check me out next week, 7 o'clock. If you can't be good, be bad, but be good at it. This is D to the J with the roll away saying we'll see you next week.
All right, everybody. That's going to do it for this week's episode of My CP Does Not Define Me.
Thank you, Cindy.
As always, you can catch us every
Cindy.
Wednesday.
Thank you, everybody.
Eastern Time, live on the Disability Global Podcast, Facebook Live, and on www.letgoradio.net. Also, if you haven't already checked out our YouTube channel, My CP Does Not Define Me, where we post all of our show's episodes in our My CP playlist. As always, I'm your host, D to the J with the roll away. If you can't be good, be bad, but be good.
Take care, Kristen. Thank you.
Thank you, Kristen. Bye.
Bye, everybody. We love you too. Take care.